What's going on, good YouTube people from around the world? It is your most gracious host, the Badwolf. 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 All right, guys. So this particular video is about an injunction. All right. So what is an injunction? An injunction is a court order requiring a person. Now, we know that a person means either a living person, but it also means typically a legal person, which is your name in all capitalized letters, which is all of these corporations, to do or to cease a specific action. There are three types of injunctions: a permanent one, temporary, or preliminary. Temporary restraining orders and preliminary injunctions are equitable. Equity. Most of these courts, especially the lower ones, they deal in debt. Equity is solid, tangible, real things. American. You've got lawful money, gold, silver, property, real things. In nature. They can be issued by a judge early in a lawsuit to stop the defendant from continuing his or her alleged harmful actions. Choosing whether to grant a temporary injunction relief is up to the discretion of the court. Permanent injunctions are issued as a final judgment in a case where monetary damages will not suffice. Failure to comply with an injunction may result in being held in contempt of court, which in turn may result in either criminal or civil liability. Now, the reason why this is brought up, okay, and we'll jump back to that in one moment, is because some people have been having problems with certain companies, persons, or counties, police officers, police departments, and whatever else. So what have they done? They have went and filed and got injunctions against those entities, those persons, those legal persons. Now, you don't want to use this or do this lightly. There are some things to it. Okay, I know, let's just jump to the quick. I know a lot of people out there, oh, I want to file an injunction against the police department. Okay, people have and do, and you can. But what happens if you need their services? And you have an injunction against them. Okay, so you don't want to just use the information and do stupid things. You have to think things out. Now, another thing I want to tell you guys is stop paying these dang gurus so much money. Learn it for yourselves. Do some research. Hell, you know, like, I mean, if you some people are telling me they're paying like $250, $500 an hour or more to talk to somebody. No. I'm going to make a video where we're going to knock down a lot of these walls. Actually, I have one already in the hopper, but I'm going to make another one specifically on it. Everything that you need to do, I've already covered. And if I haven't covered, it's probably something you don't really need to do. And stop thinking that you're going to get all this elusive money from the government, the secret accounts, and also there's stop, all that stuff. Correct your standing, discharge some stuff, and live your life. Stop thinking you're going to magically get this envelope in the mail and there's going to be a huge chunk of money. But in reality, are there some programs where you can get grants and access to certain things? Yes. But you best believe that if you do find out, which I don't, how to access some of these things, they're going to make you sign a non-disclosure agreement. Okay? Period. That's it. You're not going to just get access and start blabbing. Anybody who's openly saying they know how to access all the big, the main secret little trust, the Sesticate trust and everything like that, they're either going to get shut down or they're lying, okay? Or they're in violation of their non-disclosure agreement or something, all right? You're not going to continue you're going to get a knock on the door. Okay, you're not going to be able to give away that level of stuff. Okay? There's a reason why you can't find it on the internet. So if somebody did crack it the right way, or any of these things, everything I show you guys is stuff that's right on the internet, stuff that's in their books you can easily read. But some things are considered to be national security. Okay, so they're not going to just let you have it. So stop paying these gurus tons of money and whatever else, and then not getting the results. All right. One of the reasons why they charge so much money for this information that's free, okay, even my stuff is free if you look for it. I'm just charging for my time. And, they're charging a lot because they don't get a lot of people, so they want to make the money all at once as much as they can. I'll do 200-300 people. They'll do 4 or 5. Why? Because they have to get the money. I don't have to charge a lot because the proof is in the pudding. You use it, you're going to like the service, give it to you for a fair price. So stop paying these people so much money. I'm not saying pay them nothing for their time, but if you have to go, oh God, that's a lot of money, then don't spend what you don't have. Okay. So anyway, I digress. When it comes to the injunction, you can apply for it on the state level, but remember, a lot of the state courts, all you're doing is telling them that you don't want to do business with one of their family members. Okay, so you can do it there. If you don't get it there, then I would recommend taking it to the federal court and getting an injunction. Some people have written their own injunctions. I'm not sure how well those work, but you can inform them that I do not wish to do business with you. I'm a private person, and if I choose to utilize your services, let's see, herein lies the catch. If you're saying you're private, and that's all how you're going to operate, not with your public entity, which is why I'm going to show you guys how to move better in the next couple of videos, then they should really be charging you for any services as a private person, because they only have a contract with the public. Out of your taxes come these services. So if you're saying I'm going to file an injunction against them, you could go as far as to make everything private, so none of your money goes towards their services, but you might get hit with a bill. If the unthinkable, uneventful, thing or occurrence, whatever happens, now you suddenly need those services. Now, a lot of people will be more specific and they'll say, well, I don't want to deal with the, police, but I'm okay with the fire department and whatever, blah, blah, blah else. Once again, if you need their services, but you've told them you're private, now they can say, well, we don't provide that. You need private security. But they're still at the sheriff's office. And even though a lot of them are still good, some of them, though they've taken an oath, gentlemen and ladies, because I know you guys will watch these. I've been contacted by a number of you guys already, most of which have been awesome and have just merely asked me how do they correct their standing as well. Take an oath to defend the Constitution and Declaration of Independence. So I hold you all to your oaths. And once again, if you have one or two bad people in law enforcement and you guys know who they are, and you guys don't report them to Internal Revenue or you cover up for them, then you're part of the problem too. Because you can make an anonymous tip to them, Internal Affairs, and they'll be investigated. Though technically still yet you're having people on the inside investigate people who are they're still kind of their buddies and whatever else. So there's that. It's like telling me to punish myself if I find any wrong done with myself. Which is why if you guys do find corruption, true corruption, not just you don't like how they treated you, but it's corrupt, changing dates, misinformation, direct lies, stealing your stuff, no due process of rights, then yes, you should report them to the Department of Justice, the FBI, the Attorney General, Secretary of State, Governor, all the above people. If it warrants it, do not use that frivolously, and do not file frivolous liens. If you cannot prove the damage that has been done financially and get a court order, then I would not do that. That is strongly advised. Okay, so let's get back to it. Shazam. Okay. An injunction is an equitable remedy. So lawful. There's only like 3 equity courts, I believe, left. One's in Tennessee, and there's 2 more somewhere else. And is therefore available only in cases of in personam jurisdiction. Well, what is in personam jurisdiction? Literally translating to against the person, refers to courts' power to judge, educate matters directly against the party. Well, basically it's like this. Okay, for example, a Delaware court has in personam jurisdiction over citizens of Delaware. U.S. citizens, 14th Amendment citizens, all capitalized name. Notice here, it's not saying the private person or nationals, but private persons, nationals, state citizens are different in jurisdiction. But if you've done something criminal, you have brought yourself into their jurisdiction. Who else do they have jurisdiction over? Companies in Delaware. Not companies outside of Delaware, not things foreign, not things private, and people who are served while visiting Delaware on vacation. Now, I could argue this out in certain ways, but I'll leave that alone for this particular video. Now, the district court can exercise in personam jurisdiction over any person who consents. All of this is consent, unless it's criminal and you've done damage to a living party or significant damage to somebody else's property. So you can waive your rights. This is what they ask you to do. People also ask me, what is full faith and credit? That means that the state of Delaware is a member of the PMA with the state of Wisconsin, the state of Florida. So if you go to any of these other states, the full faith and credit says that, hey, anything done over there is good over here. So if you committed a crime in this state, they can bring you back to this state. They have an agreement within their corporation, their PMA. Okay. Now, let's see, what is in rem? It's Latin for against a thing. Gives them the powers to judge matters directly against property. In rem jurisdiction is one of the 2 forms of personal jurisdiction. Why? Because your name in all capitalized letters is a thing. It's a legal person. They have jurisdiction over it. A court can exercise in rem jurisdiction over any real or personal property. Hold your horses. You got to finish it up. Within its territory. Is your house and vehicle and your all caps name registered to the state? Then it's in their territorial jurisdiction. Or quasi in rem jurisdiction. When hearing quasi in rem, a court may only, so they're limited, affect a named defendant's interest in a specific named piece of property. So if your name is in something, the legal name is in or on something, they can attack it. but only your part. So, for instance, if my legal name is in a corporation and I'm making, I don't know, $20,000 a year through that corporation, they can only attack that piece, that part of the income with my name. Once again, this is all in the federal rules of civil procedure, the ultimate law of the land. Though the lower courts do have the ability to operate their version of law, statute, code, as long as it does not interfere or remove or waive your constitutional rights. So the states are not all powerful. They are powerful, but not all. They all agreed to be held underneath the federal rules of civil procedure. So you can get an injunction or restraining orders against people, persons, companies, etc. So there you guys have it. Once again, these are just tools. I would like to ask that you guys not use anything I have here on my site and website and videos and whatever else inappropriately, or they will label you the S word and they will handle you because you're not operating commerce correctly. You are to govern yourselves accordingly. Stay educated, wise, and be safe. So take care of yourselves. Do not give up on your person, you, the living one I'm talking to. Days and times and things will be rough. Nobody ever promised you a perfect life, an easy life, a good life. You want a good life, you have to make it. How do you make it? You ignore the bad. You acknowledge it, but then you ignore it, you move on, you keep going, you breathe, you dust off, you accept that nobody runs this race perfectly. We all mess up. Most things are easy to forgive. Nearly all things should be forgiven. And if you can't forgive, doesn't mean you have to forget. But if you can't forgive, then why should somebody forgive you when you mess up? So don't be hard on yourselves. If you're watching this video, it means that you are somebody of intelligence and you are striving to do better. Every day, create a small list of 2 or 3 things that you absolutely will accomplish and accomplish them. Do not set goals that are unattainable. To move a mountain, you take one handful of dirt at a time, and eventually you will move it. So be kind to yourselves. Know that I appreciate you and believe in you. And to those people who have watched my videos and said, thank you for the positive inspiration, you are welcome. And to those people who kept on going, keep going and be the light for other people. In these times of darkness, you don't need to illuminate the world. You just do your part, even if it's small. A lot of small lights turn into a raging inferno of light, heat, warmth, safety, protection, and life. That's all. Talk to you guys later. Wolf's out.